Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Pipit Husung Hotima from 4BD class English Department, Sriwijaya State Polytechnic. This time I will review journal entitled about the art and craft of screenwriting, practice and prospect of screenwriting in Pakistani movies. The authors this journal, Ahmer Sohail, PhD scholar, Center for Media and Communication Studies, University of Gujarat, Pakistan, and the Professor Dr. Falis Ullah, Dean Faculty of Arts, University of Gujarat, Punjab, Pakistan. Volume number, Volume 5, Issue number, Issue 2, Journal from Journal of Peace Development and Communication, and the published 30 June 2021. Topic to be discussed about the introduction, literature review, significance of the study, methodology, findings, and the last conclusion and recommendation. Okay, the first topic about the introduction. During its primes, the Pakistani feature film industry has been in competition with its contemporary cinema in the world. Despite the deficiency of means and apparatus after the partition in 1947, Pakistani film industry grew into distinction, and the span stretched on 60s and 70s is considered as the best era of Pakistan film industry. In the chief cities of Pakistan, practically every new release would fetch a large number of spectators to the cinema halls. Desolately, we couldn't cope with the heritage of the opulent culture of cinema going, and henceforth commenced the downfall. The Pakistani cinema in 21st century offers its audience some of the best music scores, moving instance of acting, adroitly done editing, captivating location and locales, and eye-catching cinematography. Over the last couple of decades, the Pakistani cinema has seriously been attempted to be revived by making many films, but the restoration in the envisaged way is still a dream. In some, Pakistani film could not draw sufficient viewers enough to pull it out of the quagmire of failure. This qualitative study embarks on the debate that highlights the significance of the screenplay in the whole process of filmmaking and its need of institutionalized training of screenwriters with the aid well-equipped infrastructure and specially tailored syllabi for the purpose in the departments of mass communications and media studies at the universities in Pakistan. The next topic is a literature review. Film, as a matter of fact, is a visual art form. It can entertain without words, but it cannot exist without pictures. Writing screenplay requires more than just literary skills. It involves the writer to think in image instead of words. It is a sequence of visual impression giving the delusion of entirety. A screenplay or film script is a basic skeleton from which eventually a motion picture is made. One cannot produce a film without a screenplay, just a building cannot be constructed without architectural drafts and schemas. The screenwriter arranges for the prerequisite for making a film and facilitates other. The practice of screenplay writing in Pakistani, as a matter of fact, starts with cinema in Lahore. Raja Harishchandra, the first full-length feature film in subcontinent, produced by Dundiraj Govind Palke, known as Dada Sahib Palke, was released on 13/5/1913 in Mumbai. Lahore, being one of the significant culture hubs of subcontinent since millennia, became the next film-producing city. This way how filmmaking took a start in Pakistan. The most of the film relate literature in shape of books, newspaper articles, and some of the research papers written in Pakistan remains limited to the acting, music, or direction. Very less quantity or published literature is found produced about screenplay writers or screenplay writing. The only sign and clues of the screenwriters' research to names only, the research could find is on the website Pakistan Film Magazine. From this stage of the affairs one can well ascertain the significance of screenwriter near Pakistani filmmakers and film historians. The early screenwriters for films were either novelists or playwrights. so as in subcontinent and afterwards in Pakistan. Amongst eminent playwrights whose works lend nascent Pakistani film industry, the initial written foot were Hakim Ahmed Suja, Aga Hasan Kasmiri, Aga Hasan Amanat, Sadat Hasan Manto, Sibtain Fazli, Nazim Panipati, and Imtiaz Ali Taj. These prolific writers provide a strong pedestal to the film writers who were supposed to carry forward the legacy. The dexterity, art convention, and the culture of storytelling through novels and stage plays helped the writers cope with the technical requisites of screenwriting. The art and craft of screenwriting, however, in coming decades got more and more complex and demanding in terms of the construction and the presentation of mice on skin, digesis, non-digesis, mimesis, and anti-mimesis. The introduction of film studies and screenwriting hence in educational institutes was not much later than the advent of the filmmaking in the world. The next topic is significance of the study. The present study looks forward to initiating and instigating new scholarly discussion in the realm of mass communication regarding the technical aspect of screenplay that require exhaustive book-based as well as in-field research. The paper also signifies the importance of screenplay writers in deciding the fate of the film on box office and in critics' eyes without limiting the role of its director. The study will also single out the significance and need of training of screenwriters by setting up well-equipped infrastructure, especially tailored shall be for the purpose in the departments of mass communication and media studies at the universities in Pakistan. Next, methodology. This is a qualitative study. In-depth interviews of the respondents pick up from veteran screenwriters, distinguished directors, prolific film journalists, critics, and media communication academians. So research has chosen profile sampling, as the population of the study comprises all the screenwriters, directors, media journalists, and media communication academians in Pakistan, who all cannot be researched at or contact. Purpose sampling has been opted for. Since the research is based in Lahore, it was convenient for him to take up respondents from this city. In addition, Lahore has been a hub of filmmaking since 1928, as has been mentioned and cited. The substantial possibility of the sample of the population in Lahore was certain. The researcher, under the lack of his acumenship, tailored by extensive knowledge owing to watching films in cinema halls as well as on DVDs since childhood till date, reading relative material, and meeting film critics and heavens in person, chose 15 veteran or native both film writers, directors, journalists, and media communication professors of 8 universities in Lahore for having unstructured, in-depth interview. The respondents were categorized under 5 heads, i.e. screenwriters, directors, screenwriters or directors, film critics or journalists, and media communication educator. Okay, the next topic is findings. The in-depth interviews of the respondents revealed that most of the screenwriters in Pakistan have a major compression of the screenplay. One of the renowned film writers allowed interviewers freedom to determine what further question to be asked to option the calm director, who has quite a pretty number of Urdu and Punjabi hit films on his credit as screenwriter and director. When asked what screenplay is he came up with, the activity that opens a scene is screenplay. For instance, when start a scene, the main character is dusting the room, or sewing a cloth, or standing near a picture, or whatever. Then enters the other characters in the frame and they start changing the dialogues. This is a screenplay. By and large, all the respondents from writer and director category held the same concept about the nature and structure of screenplay. In the other words, actions, at the interactions, at reactions is screenplay. It is quite clear that screenplay as a matter of fact is the operationalizations and equations of a story that is expressed as a one-liner. how to tell the story on screen with the aid of characters, props, sets, lights, cameras, and etc. Is all that builds up and integrates a screenplay. To put this complex concept in even simpler manner, all the turns, twists, and vicissitudes appear on the screen, whatever order, depending upon the creativity, aesthetic, and craftsmanship of the screenwriter, with obviously the comfortability level of the producer and the director is screenplay. To a film journalist, filmmaking techniques and screenwriting could not be taken as seriously as it has been taken in other parts of the world where cinema industry grew large with every passing year. Another senior interview who has retired from directing films and on whose credit some of really good movies in 70s and 80s are studied, got nostalgic and melancholic while responding. Gone are the days when films were made in Pakistan. What if the colors of the film on screen were stained, silhouettes used were standard, actors were loud but they were films. Science TV directors and writers have got into the professions. What we are making in the name of films is neither film nor drama. Okay, the last topic is conclusion. Film is one of the most powerful mass media for entertainment, propaganda, persuasion, and social change. With the advent of the internet, the already shrinking world has become smaller and smaller in recent years. Sharing ideas, problems, and even possible solutions to these problems has made generations more aware and more mature. Postmodernism has brought expert to narrower specifications and specializations. In the midst of such circumstance, film is one of the most influential modes of letting countries speak their minds of communicate with the other. Recognizing the importance of filmmaking, filmmakers around the world have equipped themselves with modern ways of storytelling. Okay, that's all my review journal. Thank you for watching my video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.